Dolphins fans, I'm in the business of getting 1% better every day and 1% better every week. Well, last week, our highest like video got 511 likes. This week, I want to make sure we top it. We have a lot of rumors to discuss on today's video, so hit that thumbs up button and let's get 1% better and top 511. All right, new segment alert. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The Fins Rumor Meter. We're introducing it to the channel. New host, new segment. So what does it mean exactly? Let me explain. If we talk about a rumor and I give it 0 fins, that is fake news. It's not happening. 1 fin is one small shred of truth. 2 fins, people are talking. 3 fins, it's pretty likely. And then if I give it that magical 4 fins, it's happening, baby. You can lock it in. And the first rumor that we have to talk about today is a Tua contract extension coming soon? I'm giving it 3 fins, which means it's pretty likely. There's been a lot of buzz surrounding the lefty quarterback and Chris Grier working on a long-term deal, and those rumors only sparked on Friday when Jeremy Fowler of ESPN hopped on ESPN's network and said this: the Dolphins have at least got the ball rolling. Typically what happens is the team makes a contract offer, player counters, and then they go from there and see if they can find a sweet spot. The next 3 months will be crucial. My sense is this is something that has graduated to imminent, or not graduated to imminent, but the Dolphins are pretty committed to this. Their actions this offseason say that they are going to pay him. They scaled back a lot of the big money contracts, cutting players like Xavier Howard, so they want to do this. They wanted Tua to prove that he could have a fully healthy season and produce, and he did that. And I get it. Tua might be a polarizing player among Dolphins fans. Some people really, really like him and love him. Some people don't love him and want to find a better quarterback. But here's the thing that I think we could all agree on. And I don't care if you're in the camp of Tua is an elite quarterback and the franchise quarterback of this team, or if you think the Dolphins should try to move on because he can't win the big games. I don't care what camp you're in. But the grass is not always greener, folks. And to me, there just is not a better option out there that would help the Miami Dolphins win in the current standard they're in. Because think about the rest of this roster. It's a mostly older roster, especially on offense. And you need a quarterback that is experienced, has familiarity with the system, and can win now. There isn't a better option out there. And I think the part that Jeremy Fowler said about Tua needing to prove he could stay healthy for a full season really does loom large to me and is the main reason why I think this contract extension is going to get done this offseason. He's always battled injuries, whether it be to the head neck injury area, which is very, very concerning, or any other place on his body. But in 2023, he led the entire NFL in passing while completing 69.3% of his passes. Very nice. But the thing that is the most important to me is that top number. He played in all 17 games for Miami. That was not the case in 2022. And you just see the raw increase in numbers in terms of touchdowns. The interceptions obviously go up, but when you play more games and have more passing volume, that's going to happen. But the yards, completion percentage, 4 extra games played. I know the season didn't end too strongly for Tua, but I think he did all the right things and all the things he needed to do to prove that he needs to be a extended quarterback and the long-term franchise QB of this team. And what say you? Do you agree with me, and do you want Tua to be extended? Type Y for yes or type N for no. It's fascinating to see what he would end up getting. We have a projection coming up in here in just a second, but let me know, do you want to extend Tua? I do want to extend Tua because, as I kind of alluded to, the grass is not always greener, and unless you think you're getting Dak Prescott next offseason, to me, I don't think there's any other quarterback out there that would do better for this team. So I think the extension projection, which has been rumored to be out there from Spotrac and others, would be a 4-year, $220 million deal. Yeah, it is $55 million per season, but that's the going rate for these quarterbacks nowadays. And listen, Dak is about to get paid $55, $60 million a year too. Dak, I think, is a little bit of a better quarterback than Tua, but they're kind of in the same tier at this point. So Tua is going to get that money, whether it be from Miami or a different team. And I'm in the business of keeping him around. And I'll tell you what, if Tua does get extended by the Miami Dolphins, we will have the news and break it down for you. So subscribe today. We'll have the news. We got the rumors. We got it all. Join the channel now. from one contract extension to another. Is Tyreek Hill going to get a contract extension? I'm giving it 2 fins, which means people are talking. It's not very likely that he gets extended this offseason, but I do think an extension may help Miami, so I could see why they do it this year. There was a lot of rumors between if they get Jaylen Waddle done first or Tyreek Hill. Either way, the receiver room needs to be extended, specifically Jaylen Waddle, but it would also be nice if you could get Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill's current contract is very, very large. He's still got 3 years left. He's a potential out after 2025, but you're not moving on from Tyreek Hill. He's got a $31 million cap hit. He's under contract next season and the year after, and is year 31 and year 32 of his age. Now, I will say this. In 2026, the last year of his contract, he's getting paid, at least his cap hit, is $56 million. That is absolutely absurd of a number, and when you have that big of a number, because they backloaded the deal, an extension could alleviate some of the pressure and not put you in such a bind of a $56 million cap hit in 2026. And the reason why I'm saying 2 fins and people are talking is because CTESPN Network, which I know you have different opinions on this. It's ridiculous. But he said, so this was on Sunday. Source, breaking news. Tyreek Hill is working on a new contract with the Miami Dolphins. Miami first wants to get Jaylen Waddle's new contract done. And I'll say this. Do not trust it. I mean, this is a bit almost from Antonio Brown's camp. I don't even know what's going on. But I will say this, as I kind of alluded to just a second ago because of how expensive he is coming down the home stretch of his contract. An extension would help Miami. It would not only be able to space out the money he is owed over his next 3 years, over 5 or 6 potentially, but it would also give you less cap hit this year and the following 2 years after that. Now, I also thought this was intriguing that Tyreek Hill had to say this on a podcast over the weekend on being a Dolphin for life. He said, I would like to retire in Miami, but we all know how the NFL is, how jobs go, and people getting promotions over here, and, we understand that. But Miami is a great city, man. I love the team I play on. I love the guys in the locker room. I love the head coach. I love the GM. So that means sign me. I love all you guys so much. I want to stay in Miami forever, man. Keep me there. I love this, man. As I said over the weekend with Odell Beckham Jr. signing with the Dolphins as well, I love when players want to be with Miami. Odell Beckham Jr. chose the Dolphins on a lesser deal over teams like the Bills and Chiefs because he thought it was a better fit and wanted to be in the 305. Well, Tyreek Hill feels the same way, leaving the Chiefs, being with the Dolphins, and then now he wants to retire Dolphins. That's awesome. Now, I do also want to get this point across too. I want to get Jaylen Waddle's contract extension done first. This is an ascending young player who just through 3 seasons in the National Football League has had 1,000 yards in each of those 3 years. And yes, he has been paired up with Tyreek Hill over the past couple, but he is a fantastic wide receiver that is very capable of being a wide receiver 1 in the NFL, if you're asking me. And you have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. You can make an argument for the Bengals wide receiver duo of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but Hill and Waddle have been dynamic together. I mean, you see how they are big playabilities. Tyreek Hill's season last year was just flat out ridiculous. But Waddle as a second fiddle, putting up over a stack with 4 tutties and having 72 yards per game, like what else can you ask for? It is absolutely terrific to have these 2 guys being able to get the ball from Tua through the passing game. And now you add OBJ into this room. Oh my, you're really asking for some danger zone if you're the opposing defense. But get Waddle's contract extension done first if you're asking me, because you don't want to wait 2 or 3 or wait another year. He balls out again. That price tag only goes up. And also I'll say this. The price tag for wide receivers is kind of set for an extension right now. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown get some money. You see what Brandon Ayuk and T. Higgins want. If Waddle waits another year, well, that price tag might go up $2 or $3 million. Get it done right now so you can keep JW in the 305. But do you agree with me? Which should happen first? Which extension, if you will? Should a Tyreek Hill extension happen first? If you do, type TH. If you think it should be Jaylen Waddle like me, type your JWs. I also want to give a shout out because we have some great Dolphins quarter zips on sale right now at chatsports.com/DolphinsQZip. Look at this thing. This thing is absolutely beautiful. The best part about quarter zips, they're so versatile. You can wear them to work. You can wear them on the golf course. You can wear them on game day. Quarter zips are the best invention to come to the clothing game. And when you got that sexy little throwback Dolphins logo on there, whoo, whoo, whoo. I'm going to help you guys out. I'm putting that link in the description and comments of today's video. So get your quarter zip today at chatsports.com/DolphinsQZip. All right, last thing we're talking about today, should the Dolphins sign Justin Simmons, the free agent safety? I'm giving it 2 fins, which means people are talking. Now, I don't think this is something that is going to happen relatively soon, but I've been kind of preaching to the choir about signing Justin Simmons. I know a lot of other people on Twitter have said it as well. I know a lot of people want to go to the offensive guard position, which I get, but I think you can get both here. And I do want to note that the Dolphins, after June 1st and Xavier Howard's $18.5 million comes off the book, Miami will have around $20 million in cap space after that June 1st date. And I also want to showcase this, is that you also have to anticipate and bring into the fact that the Dolphins draft class needs to be signed. And that is allotting about $5 million in cap to those players. So now you're down to around 15. And I thought Barry Jackson had a good note in his most recent article about signing Justin Simmons in a potential hypothetical, that the Dolphins also want to keep about $5 or $6 million in cap space heading into the season. So in case a player gets hurt and they need to acquire someone in a trade or sign a free agent, then they have the cap space to do so. So if you take that $6 million out, take that 5 out, you have about $9 or $10 million to work with to make sure you're in that range. And I think that $9 million, although you wouldn't get an offensive lineman that a lot of us want, Justin Simmons would be well worth that $9 million. He's been a mainstay for the Denver Broncos back end, and he has still got a lot of good football ahead of him. Don't get it twisted, folks. And to me, I've been also trying to preach to you guys how much I think a third safety would be needed to this room. You have a great duo in Jevon Holland and Jordan Poyer. The issue, the depth is not good, folks. You see 6 safeties on your screen right now. The only issue with that, 2 of them are undrafted free agents in Mark Perry and Colbert, and then the other one is Patrick McMorris, who is a 6th-round pick out of Cal. You don't have a lot of experience. You don't have a lot of depth. And I think it would benefit the Dolphins to get a reliable third guy. I've also tried to tell you guys that in the new defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver's system, who's coming from the Baltimore Ravens, they like to be very versatile and multiple on the back end. They ran a ton of 3 safety sets. They had Geno Stone. They had Kyle Hamilton. And I think Hamilton, who's arguably the best safety in the entire NFL, who can play in the box, can play back, can play in the nickel, I think Jevon Holland can do a lot of those same things. And if you get him in that Kyle Hamilton-esque role in Miami and sign Justin Simmons to have Poyer and Simmons on the back end in some formations, with Holland roaming around, being a ball hawk, being in the box, making plays in the running game, oh, I think he would get another elevation to his game and only make this Dolphins defense so much better. So to me, I think you need to sign Justin Simmons. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Like I said, make sure you hit that sub button because if Dolphins news or rumors hit, we will have you covered. For example, OBJ signs over the weekend. We brought you a video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go Fins.